Hi, I'm Elizabeth, and this is Lilac Moore,
the author of Math and Magic in Wonderland. And welcome back to our math club and our book club. Right now we're on chapter 2. Now in chapter 2, the girls find a clue. One ancient game of skill will soon reveal another. First place the 7 tans to form a turtle brother, then write how many fewer rights there are than all the others. And Lulu and Elizabeth figured out that the tans were tangrams. And what they had to do was figure out the angles in the tangrams to figure out which ones were right angles versus all the other types of angles. So you're holding up a chart that shows the different types of angles. So what is an angle? What does this look like? The corner?
Yeah, it's a corner.
It's a corner, like the corner of a book or the corner of a ruler.
And you wrote right here.
That's a right angle. Now if the angle is smaller than a right angle, it's more closed than the corner of a book.
Like this one, see? Acute.
Acute. And what's an easy way to remember that the angle that's more closed is acute? Because
it's because it's not like this.
It's little. It's little. Usually things that are little are acute. So you can remember that it's acute. And what if it's more open?
Yeah. Then it's kind of like this, obtuse.
It's called obtuse. Okay, so those are the different types of angles. So now we have to figure out, in our tangrams, we have 7 shapes. So the 7 shapes consist of how many triangles?
They consist of 5.
5 triangles plus a parallelogram and
a square.
And a square. So we have to figure out the angles in these. So we don't need to look. Some of the triangles are big. So one is medium, and there's 2 small ones as well. But they're all still, what shape?
They're all still triangles.
Yes, and not just any triangle. They have a right angle. And they have 2 sides that are the same length, right? So they're called right isosceles triangles. So they have the same shape. So let's look at the triangles first. You know what? Let's trace this on its side so it's easy to see the right angle. Do you want to trace it? Trace the medium-sized one. Go ahead. So we made these tangrams ourselves. We're tracing them so we can add up all the angles and see how many are right angles.
There.
Yes, good job. So since it's a right isosceles triangle, that gives you a hint about it. Do you see a right angle somewhere that looks like the corner of a book?
Yeah. Here.
Right here. Do you see that? Does it look like a corner?
Yeah.
And I'll show you the sign for a right angle. This is the sign for a right angle. So it has a right angle. Do you think these angles are bigger or smaller than a right angle? Are they more closed or more open?
They're more open.
I think they look more closed, don't they?
Yeah.
Because if this was a right angle, it would look like this. But it's smaller than that, isn't it? And do you remember, aren't they cute? So what are they called?
Acute.
Acute. So a triangle has 1 right angle and 2 acute angles. Now, what would happen? Do you think you could have a triangle that has all right angles?
No.
What would it turn into?
A square.
A square. So a square has...
See, like this. If I put these both together, it makes a square.
That's correct.
And if I had one, it would look like this. See?
Yeah. So how many right angles do you see in the square?
Well, I see 2.
I see more than 2. How many look like a corner? 1.
Yeah, 1.
2.
4. I see 4.
4. So there's 1 square in our tangram set, and it has 4 right angles. And then last but not least, we have our parallelogram. because these two sides are parallel to each other, and these two sides are parallel to each other. So let's take a look at the parallelogram. Do we see any right angles? Do any of these angles look like they're a corner?
No.
No. So do you see some that look smaller, more narrow than a corner? More closed?
This one.
Do you see here? This one and this one?
And this one, yeah.
And these two look like they're more open. So no right angles there. 0 right angles. But we do have 2 acute angles and 2 obtuse. Do you remember the obtuse ones are more open? Okay. So now we have to count how many fewer rights there are than all the others. So let's add up the right angles. So 0 right angles here.
Yeah.
And 1 right angle on the triangle. And now there's 5 triangles, right?
5.
So that would make 5. 5 times 1 is 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See? Here are 5 triangles.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So we have 5 plus 4. What's 5 plus 4?
9.
9. And now we have to add up all the other angles.
Yeah.
So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 over here.
4. 9 plus 4.
No, we add them up separately. So these are the right angles. So there's 4 angles on the parallelogram that are not right angles. And each square has 2 angles that are not right angles. So what's 2 times 5? 2
times 5 is 10.
2 times 5 is 10. So add 10 plus 4.
10 plus 4 is 14.
14. So we subtract them. So we have 14 angles that are not right and 9 that are right.
Yep.
So it's 14 minus 9.
Okay, 14 minus 9. Okay, so there's a fun way that you can do this, and this is how you can make like numbers climbing. So if there are things that are minuses that are like too tricky for you, you can do this. So 9 climbs the ladder 1 to 10. Then he goes 4 steps. So it's a really easy way. And so 1 plus 4 is 5, and that equals 5. 14 minus 9 equals 5.
That's right.
So that's a fun way if you don't know minus.
Yeah, and you know what? That's a very useful technique because a lot of kids have problems with subtraction. So that's one way they can figure it out, is to climb the ladder. So the answer is 5. So that's a number that you have to write on the turtle's back. Right?
It's the number.
Okay. So thank you so much for teaching us about different angles. Do you want to review them again?
Yeah.
If an angle looks like the corner of a book.
Yeah, it's called right.
If it's more closed, it's called
acute.
Because it's so cute.
Yeah, and if it's wide open, it's called obtuse.
That's right. Okay, thank you so much. We'll see you next time.
Bye.